Good morning, evening, or afternoon. You're listening to Brownsville Matters, KXIQ 105.1's podcast show, where we learn a little bit about everything from all walks of life on the border by the sea. Our next guest is often seen involved with the local creative community and strives to add value to our city through the power of art. Cecilia Sierra, welcome to Brownsville Matters.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
I wanted to have someone involved in the art community here in Brownsville to be one of my first guests as the new host. And I like to start things off with a fun curveball question. I thought to myself, what would be a fun curveball question for Ceci? And it came to me last night. Okay, Ceci. Let's pretend that you were in fact the winner of the 78 million Gordon's Bait and Tackle lottery jackpot, with the condition that you use all those dollars for an art museum. What would Ceci Sierra's art museum look like?
Oh my God. Wow, this is like something I think about a lot, actually.
Wow, please.
Because my dad is like very hyper fixated in lotto all the time with his conspiracies. And when we saw that happen, I was so happy like it took place in Brownsville because it means it can happen.
Exactly.
To answer your question though, wow, man, so much comes into mind. I think historical buildings. But at the same time, like space, so it could actually properly like stand out and host things in terms of size. So I don't know, like I would love to like maybe like help fund and establish pre-existing organizations, and then eventually find like a property where I don't know if we're keeping it with the Renaissance plan, it'd be around Amigo Land Mall area.
Yes.
And like there's so many properties like potential, and then from there it's like have enough space where we could host every org in the area, like have their own offices and their own like little like workspaces. This is like free consulting right now. But yeah, it'd be one of those, like something where we can all be in one together, like a little neighborhood creatively speaking, and then from there establish a foundation. And I know we already have a few foundations here, but like I would like one that's more public, and engaging, and also like just start highlighting those around us and giving that much needed validation, motivation that some feel like they don't have. And that doesn't necessarily have to be through space, but I guess like acknowledgement, maybe giving like grants. I don't know. Yeah, there's like this. There's so many. That's such a good question, Gilbert. Wow. But yeah, it's just I always think about that. Like, what would be an ideal museum for us, right? And I think of the museums I visited growing up. Luckily, my parents were very like supportive. It's like maybe something with a little bit of natural science and history.
Ooh, yes.
And that later transcends into like arts and culture. Like our region is so unique, and I would love to like highlight like the Rio Grande Valley, like Delta, like Rio Grande Delta, so to speak, and go from there and showing like how our community and culture has shaped the way we make art now, and document our community and traditions. Yeah, it's like a mix of history and art. That'd be cool. That would be like my ideal museum. So yeah.
I love it. And this actually segues very nicely with the previous guest, who was actually the director of Parks and Recreation.
Oh, Sean.
Yes, Sean De Palma. Yes.
He's so sweet.
Yes. Yeah, no, we had a great conversation. And just like how you're saying, how Brownsville has the intersections of all these valuable aspects, nature, history, enriching social events. Well, in a way, museums also serve that function to show how those intersections play out in our community.
Yes.
And I do agree. We have to promote and build institutions that share that to the people here in Brownsville. Wonderful. Now let's talk about your origin story, Ceci. Were you born and raised here in Brownsville? How did you grow up? What was life like growing up? And where exactly in your timeline did you pick up art?
Wow. Okay. So I was born in Brownsville, raised primarily my formative years between Brownsville and San Benito, specifically La Paloma, along Military. Grew up very much in the outdoors, very hands-on, craft activities. My mom has always been crafty, so art has been present like all my life, it's safe to say. And so, yeah, I would go to school here because it was just easier with working parents and having more family here. And then later on, I moved here during high school, still going to school here and still making art, but I didn't have the idea of like an art community in Brownsville or in the Valley, honestly. Like that was like unknown to me. And I only engaged with art or creative communities when I would travel. Like we would go to Houston or Austin. And we would always go to the same museums. I would have to pick one. But it also like depended on my parents, like what they could handle, I guess. And I guess in terms of local creativity, for me, it was always like the Conjunto festivals in San Benito, the Jackson Market Days in Harlingen. Like those are very near and dear to me. Like these crazy, not crazy, but like quirky community events where you just see all these different types of music and dance and activities. I remember like doing rain sticks with like the kids, and then we always have like paper mache and stuff. I don't remember like encountering or experiencing that here growing up in Brownsville. Like I don't remember much except for Charo's Days and Sombrero Fest. But in terms of like community what's it called? Community events with like a creative aspect.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember mostly like Mid Valley, as I consider it to be like Harlingen. But now it's been cool to see that. Like I'm a part of creating that for others, and I was like, wow, I've evolved. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, to your point, Ceci, whenever there is an event with a creative aspect, like you said, it's almost a guarantee that you show up.
Yeah, I try my best to keep an eye on things or like be a part of things when I can.
Yes.
Some people are like, "Oh, I always see you," and I'm
exactly.
like, "Yeah," and then they're like, I don't really use social media too much because I'm at the point where I'm like, I always go in person. Like I know I'm gonna see someone and catch up, you know. So it's been good. Like oh, okay, I'm a regular now to a certain extent.
Yes. Yeah. Now, since it's a broad field, art, could you be a little bit more specific on what mediums you use, as well as what subjects and ideas you like to portray or explore through your work?
Okay. I'm like thinking of my website and how I have it like in little categories.
Your portfolio?
Yeah. Ideally, like my art in terms of themes, like it's exploring like the idea of home and my surroundings. I'm like a very observant person.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm always studying like people or like just the characteristics of things around me, whether it's buildings, the nature, I don't know. And it's in a way like documenting this idea of nostalgia and romanticizing things to a certain extent, whether it's usually like the idea of family that I didn't really interact with because they passed before I came to this world. Another thing is also just admiring and acknowledging the nature we have, right? We have a lot of beautiful natural resources that I feel people take for granted, or they don't know like the names to stuff. But if you get them to like think about it, they're like, oh, remedios with this and that. Or like, I remember going fishing. And it's one of those things, I guess, with my art, I'm trying to get people to take a moment to recollect, self-reflect, you know, and that creates memories, right? Like, or recounting memories. What else? And from there, in terms of medium and expressing these ideas, it's been very broad. So I started, like most people, painting and drawing. And in college, I met Mr. Noel Palmenes, and he was like a great mentor with like printmaking and drawing. And he showed me like how different art mediums connect with one another. Like in printmaking, he always be like, oh, you're a good drawer, but you're not great yet. I'm like, okay. And then it wasn't until late, like towards almost the end of my college career, he was like, oh, you're a good drawer and a good printmaker. But it's because my line work started to show in my relief prints, which are like elaborate stamps, in my opinion. And he also showed me screen print. And another great mentor for me so far has been Gina Palacios. Like she opened my eyes to like, oh, what's out there, you know, outside of here, like grad school, community, a lot of art administrative things that I feel like we lack here. So it's not talked about enough, you know. So that with Gina actually kind of kickstarted my community engagement work. And that was with a community steamroller event I organized with the BMFA back in 2021. Yeah, I was still in college. And I was like, why don't we have a steamroller? They all take place in other cities. You just need the thing to pave the road. And so I did like all the budgets and proposals, talked to people, and we made it happen. And that was when I really felt the museum was alive, because we had like a unique weekend event during farmers market, and everyone was like, what is going on? Like, aside from the usual art classes and stuff. And it made me wonder, I'm like, man, if we had enough like resources, we could do this as a regular thing, like maybe every quarter, bi-monthly, I don't know, like when we had the museum, like showing people like, oh, like there's this weird random event going on. Let's check it out. What's free, you know? And then from there, I was like graduating college, 2022. Yeah. And CDCB and through RGB reached out to me for a mural. And I was like, whoa, I'm like never done that. Like to a large extent, right? Because I feel like most artists want to do a mural. Like, wow, I want to paint this big wall. But it's like, I don't know how many of us actually sit and think like how much it takes, like logistically, as not so much the money, but it's like the scale of stuff, right? And having the right resources to make it the way you want it to be, and guidance as well. Like I was so thankful for Josue Ramirez from Trucha. He helped guide me a lot. Nancy Guevara as well.
Oh yes.
And well, CDCB was great. Like we were just like, okay, we had an initial design. And then from there, I kept learning. I was like, okay, how do we cater to community and make art approachable? Because sometimes art can be weird. So that also falls back into like my art practice of like, okay, how can I make art that's like recognizable and approachable to one without them feeling like, oh, I don't understand.
Oh.
And then they get disengaged.
Oh, okay.
Because I would see that a lot with my family. At museums, even when I take friends to museums and family, they're like, oh, contemporary art. I'm like, okay, I get it. Sometimes solid colors in large areas could be boring, but there's a reason behind things if we read the titles or the statements or the bio of the artist, you know. So it's like, okay, how can I get my viewers, my audience to like think more? And so I try to always insert like some type of narrative taking place in my artwork. So in this case, the CDCB mural, it's inspired by a tree of life. So they usually has like a church in the middle, or like Adam and Eve. It's like Mexican folklore piece, folk art. And I did a house, and now it's like a house inspired by like what we commonly see in downtown here in Brownsville, but also across the valley. So those houses you see in Westlaco, McAllen, Edinburgh, all those little wooden houses with the columns. And then the Árbol de Vida, Tree of Life, has like these little comic bubbles, I want to say. And it's like going to Ringgold Park, the community gardens, snacks. So in a way, it tells a story in itself of growing up, not just in Brownsville, but in the valley as a whole, because CDCB helps the valley. And Texas. So it's like, slowly was thinking more through that mural. It's not my usual style. And then recent work, it's been more like nature again. It's like, how do we highlight the natural spaces we have?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of us grow up seeing like the same type of birds and fish or plants, and everything can kind of look a little mundane or dry and boring, but I promise there's a lot of things going on. And I've been asking myself, like, what can I do, you know, like, how can I communicate how I'm feeling or thinking? And so I find myself looking a lot at artists from the South Texas region, specifically Carmen Lomas Garza from Kingsville, Texas, and also Santa Barraza, also from Kingsville. Mm-hmm. Two great powerhouses as artists and women, great Chicana scholars. Mm-hmm. And seeing, like, Carmen Lomas, her depictions are like everyday life. They look like comic book stills. Wow. I don't know. You should look up her work. Yes. I love it. It's like scenes from a quinceañera, a carne asada, or like one that always sticks to me is when they're like doing the cone with the earwax. Uh-huh. Like she painted that type of scene when you're helping someone get earwax out of their ear. That was like so random but relatable, like that I grew up seeing. And then
her name one more time, please.
Carmen Lomas Garza.
Carmen Lomas Garza.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also Santa Barraza again.
Santa Barraza.
She does work more on a spiritual level. It's like her spirituality with land, you know, and she has the Virgen de Guadalupe, but she also has her own codices, and she mixes like Catholicism with like Mesoamerican culture.
Wow.
And it's like the land is her like holy space or safe space, you know? And like, I think that's beautiful because I grew up being told like, oh, just go outside, get some sun, you know, like the earth helps you like feel better, like just outdoor activities. I don't think a lot of people around us also realize their healthy habit of fishing or birding, hunting. It's like your way of reconnecting with the land, nature, with yourself. Yes. Yeah, running, walking. Mm-hmm. And so that's also led to like another mural I did earlier this year with the city of San Benito.
So you did another mural over there?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
And but this was different. It was digital. So the city of San Benito got like money and grants for these like fitness courts. We just had one installed at Cowboy Park here in Brownsville, and there's one at Montebella Trails. And it's by the National Fitness Campaign. I think with United Healthcare. It's with partner with a health insurance. So they put these like fitness courts in different communities, and you have the option to add art to it. And they have templates on their website, or you sponsor a local artist with a grant. And so San Benito reached out to me because I grew up there. Yes. And I was like, okay, like cool. But I had never designed anything like digital illustration for like such a large scale. So that was like a whole other perspective of murals. Learning about like the vectors and the files. I'm not one for Adobe. Like I'm slowly painfully learning. But I am that mural. They wanted birds. They're highlighting ecotourism along the resacas that cut through San Benito.
Well, it is the Resaca city.
Yeah. And I was like, of course you have birds. You have a bird in your city logo.
Yeah.
And so I designed it on my iPad, and I remember the people we were working with were like, oh, don't use Procreate. It's a software that's very accessible on the iPad Pros for like illustration. And I was like, okay, I'm still going to make it on the iPad. And then I figured out how to vector it and like make it to their, meet their capacity, I guess. Like, so it's easier because certain square inches means feet.
Right. Oh, okay. And the proportions.
The proportions, yes. To meet your proportions. And so all I did was just have to draw it, send them the right file, and they made it come to life in vinyl. Oh. And it was so cool. I don't know what part of the park it is. I feel bad.
But it's in San Benito.
It's in San Benito. And that was just such a unique experience. And again, it's like reinstating the narrative of like nature heals you, right? So take a walk, go work out, learn about some local birds, and just emphasizing that narrative that like we are already living that, and we should continue to do that. But yeah, like my art career has been really interesting. I've thought I would be like in grad school by now, maybe doing more museum, seeing my art on the wall. But honestly, I'm having so much fun with community and learning more about like how cities work.
Yes.
And how can we help create or bring awareness to art communities and the resources they need. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and then also I want to add to our listeners, where can we find your mural, the first one you described?
Yeah, the first one for CDCB
Yes.
is called Unidad y Alegría. And it's located on Levy and 9th Street on the CDCB building in the old Elizabeth HEB parking lot.
There you go.
And yeah, you should check it out. It's yellow. Can't miss it.
No. No. I think its position there is very valuable because there have been quite a few murals that have raised divided opinions, mainly because they may not necessarily reflect a symbology that reflects fully Brownsville, Texas. But your mural, on the other hand, fills that niche wonderfully, and it's right beside the main street. It's right next to Elizabeth on Levy. So in a way, it is at the heart of downtown Brownsville. In a way, that's in the middle of downtown Brownsville. So in a way, your mural is the heart of downtown Brownsville.
Oh, thank you. You know what? You got me thinking about the new living quarters at El Jardín.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like, eventually there's going to be kids and family and they'll get to see that.
You're right.
You know? And along with the other murals. I think it's great that our city like hosts artists from other places. I think there just needs to be more engagement in terms of like, oh, this is what's taking place. Let's welcome them, you know? And I look forward to seeing how our city continues to develop in public art because there's more than just murals, but it takes more research and trying to see like, do we have artists locally that are capable of it or have the resources in the space? Like some people I've met, they've studied to do sculpture, but they don't have the space to do it, you know? There's others who know how to do like projections and like, you know, when like you edit, like you have an app and you scan something and it starts to move. Like there's a lot of people I know that do that too. Is like, who do you partner up with? I think there's just, I'm waiting for that bridge to be established where you can help connect those local artists to maybe artists from other places and form collaborations. Or maybe some people I've met have great ideas, but they don't feel creative, like hands-on, I guess. But if you pair them up with someone, you guys can fabricate something together, you know? I'm a firm believer that everyone's creative.
Yes.
It's just, you got to help one be confident and narrow down like how they're creative. But yeah.
Yes. You know what's funny? I was just watching a video about this morning about creativity, and it really comes into place when you learn from different sources or read from different books, and when you, the reader or the one who's taking in the art, starts noticing the connections between them. It's where you make those connections that you and only you can make, because no two people have the exact same combination of literature or the arts that they enjoy. And then how you make those connections and how you can apply your talents to apply your message, that is where creativity comes from. Most especially when you have constraints. I'm a firm believer that constraints breed creativity.
Yes, very much so. I'm a firm believer in that as well. Working with what we got, you know, and I think that's led to the style of art we see here, you know, and how we express ourselves. Who is it? I'm trying to think. People, I remember in college would bring up like the word rasquache.
Rasquache, what does that mean?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember the actual definition. But it's like,
or how's it used?
They would describe it in the sense of you're working with what you have literally.
Okay.
Like you're finding things, working with the materials you got. So like, I guess in simple terms, you don't need like a nice canvas.
Nah.
You could just use found pieces of wood or objects and paint on them with, maybe you don't have like the fanciest paint. It could be Walmart paint or house paint.
Yes.
And you're just make with what you have, right?
Wait, is rasquache a noun or an adjective?
I don't know. I'm not that far. I'm like thinking of like the dictionary. I know like rasquache started off as like an insult.
Oh, okay.
Of a term.
So it's like a noun, like a term that you.
Yeah, and then
LA is rasquache. Okay.
Something like that,
Okay.
and then they like turned it positive. Like they took that word, made it into a positive in the sense of like with the artwork.
Being resourceful, making the most of what you have. Wow.
Yeah, and so most of the artwork I've seen with it have been more sculptural. Like Gil Rocha, he's from Laredo. And then a little bit I feel like could be in a way, Cande's work reminds me a little bit of that with the sense of like this mixed medias and collage and like almost like this street art to it. But yeah, it's like this, I guess more in the Rasquachismo, it's like the idea of like working with what we have and with what's around us, whether that's like the material or like the surroundings in itself. So I've noticed like this trend of narrative work here. We're all documenting our community in great detail. It's just not in a photograph or in an essay. And it's been cool because like people from the outside visit and they meet artists or they see our work in other places and realize how beautiful and colorful and engaging our communities are compared to what the overall narrative the media says about our region. You know, and at the end of the day, I think all our work is political. Whether we realize it or not, it doesn't necessarily mean we're calling out a politician or billionaires, you know, but we are taking a stand for our people and showing that we are this compared to what others say we are. And we are very welcoming to others. It's just a matter of those people accepting that welcoming sense.
Right, you know? Right. I mean, it's always very fascinating to have someone get an outsider's perspective on Brownsville. Our last guest was born and raised in Florida and loves it here. Yeah. He loves Brownsville. But yeah, it's not until you actually visit a place, get to know the people, where you can finally like form your own opinion and perspective of it. A very interesting example. I recently went on a road trip across the Deep South.
I saw that.
Yes, to visit thriving independent bookstores in underserved areas to learn what about them makes them great. Yeah, and to apply those techniques here in Brownsville. Well, in the case of Mississippi. Due to its history and due to its stereotypes, it does unfortunately have a certain reputation among the United States. But oh my gosh, Ceci, the people there are so nice. They're so curious to learn about Brownsville. They actually kind of want to visit Brownsville.
That's so cool.
Yeah, no, same idea. It's not until you sit down, have a conversation, and actually learn about these people, just like how people who are visiting Brownsville, they may hear all this about us in the news, how we're like a war zone, blah, blah, blah. But no, we could chat with them in English or in Spanish. We could show them what a burger. We could show them Ultimo Taco. We could show them downtown, because that is how meaningful connections are made, by actually visiting a place, learning from the people, and maybe enjoying the art that adds that extra cultural layer, which you do beautifully.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this actually reminds me of Flower Shop.
Yes.
So I part of my time with a lot of love and care and accompanied by Jesus Trevino, great painter, great friend, great community like leader in the making, man.
Yes.
Like, wow, like he started this nonprofit, Fronta Arts in Bloom, back in 2023. And then he just came back from grad school and he's like, yo, I made a nonprofit, I need help.
Yes.
And a lot of our friends just got together and we're like, okay, how do we do it? And from there we started the Flower Shop Art Studio, which is also an art residency. For those who don't know what an art residency is, it's a time and place where you make work. And so that could be from a week, 2 weeks, 5 weeks to a month to a year. And you just create on a focus on a body of work you've been wanting to explore, whether it's like old or new. And through this beautiful program, I'm so happy to be a part of. I'm more like the community engagement person for this. So whenever people visit our residents, I kind of curate like a tour of Brownsville for them, and from there expand it to the valley. So for there, it's like, who are we going to meet while you're here? Whether that's artists or community leaders. What activities are we going to do? Visiting Sable Palm, the island, the Pulga. I try my best to go to Matamoros with them, to the MAC. Like, they have such a beautiful museum there. And it goes on. The list goes on. And it's been so beautiful to meet all these curious people.
Yes.
They come here with, like, an open mind of, like, they have no expectations. And they're, like, they just embrace it. It's been beautiful. And then there's some people who like see what the news say, or they keep tabs with certain things. But again, they're like intrigued to like actually interact and see what is true.
And see for themselves.
And so again, that's through art and community. And it's a unique form of tourism in a way. If you think about it, we're like a low budget hotel with a lot of cool activities.
That's right.
And we're slowly growing. It's been crazy. Like, we'll go to San Antonio, Austin, bigger cities, and everyone's like, Flower Shop, heard about Flower Shop. A lot of it's word of mouth. Word of mouth still lives, man. And so we've been getting people from all over, a lot of Northeast, Chicago, Mexico, and California, like Pacific Northwest. And a lot of them, some way, somehow, have a connection to Brownsville. Everyone knows a person who lived in Brownsville at some point in their lives, have gone to Matamoros or South Padre. And again, like, these stories interconnect and create this beautiful web of community. I don't know. It's been so surreal, like, being a part of this community program and seeing how much it is helping our community and giving our emerging artists, especially those who either you work from home or you're a college student, like, it gives them the validation, like, wow, these people who actually like my work, there is an audience for my stuff. And for the meantime, we're working with what we have and creating this space for people to, again, share and, how do you say, grow creatively. But yeah.
Nice. What would you say, Ceci, is the best tidbit of advice that's ever been given you and that you would like to impart on us today?
One of the greatest forms of advice I engage with are fortune cookies every time I go to Lotus. And I think those are times where I follow my gut. I'm like, I need to get some Chinese food, which leads to a fortune cookie, right? Yes. Honestly, I always keep them in my wallet, those that feel most impactful to me. So one of them is, believe in yourself. You'll be your own greatest supporter.
Ooh.
And that is something that's so true. You have to support yourself at the end of the day, have that confidence and self-love for you. And I always tell people, like, it's important to self-reflect on how much we've grown as people, you know, because there's days we feel pretty low. There's years, you know, like eras, etapas, I don't know. And so when I read that, I was like, wow, I'm going to keep that in my wallet every day, all day. And then another one is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Ooh.
And that in itself, I think, is something our community needs right now so much in terms of the creativity. And this is in all spectrums, like of all arts and culture. Like a lot of it's happening so fast with the growth of the city and stuff. But I feel like there's this lack of togetherness in certain parts.
Right.
But there is an effort.
Yes.
To build that togetherness. It's just a matter of, amplifying that to more people.
Yes.
But these two were very impactful to me. Oh man, there's another one. It's from Toastmasters. Anyways, these were like really impactful, and they're great reminders for me at the end of the day. And it's like, I know I've gotten good advice from people and strangers. But maybe because it's like written down, like it just stays better for me.
Yeah, right.
But I've had people tell me variations of this. So yeah, at the end of the day, you're your greatest supporter, and it's good to work together. And so yeah,
I really like that, because at the end of the day, the only person that's gonna follow you through thick and thin, through highs and lows, is you.
Yeah.
So. You really do have to be your strongest supporter, because without that, then you really don't have anyone.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I gave a talk to some students a few weeks ago at the university, and one of them asked me, like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I motivate myself. It's painful sometimes, and awkward, but you have to do it. You have
to.
Like, when I started college, I didn't even know what I wanted to study. I stuck to art because it was just easy. And when I met people like Jesus, Jesse, Josie, Sam, and others, they were so ambitious and like trailblazers in our community for the arts that I was like, okay, I want that ambition for myself. Not that I want to be exactly like them, but I want that level of ambition and support for myself. And that is by first loving myself.
Right.
And
being easy on yourself.
Yeah.
Because we can be very hard on ourselves sometimes.
We can. And also, like, I know a lot of us try to get codependent and need someone to support us, and that's fine. But, like, maybe have that person remind you to put you first.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's difficult. Yeah. This is a lot of reading that's taking place, or, like, what's it called? Those reels and TikToks of, like, mental health and psychology. Like, I'm already naturally into that. So, for others, it's just more like just sharing tidbits, and it's like planting a little seed. But yeah, no, these fortune cookies have helped me.
What a fascinating conversation from these fortune cookies fortunes that you have in your pocket, or in your wallet rather. Okay, so one more time, could you do them one more time, please?
Yes. Believe in yourself, you'll be your own greatest supporter. And then the other one is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I love that so much, especially if it's with like-minded people who share the same passion for your mission. Ceci, who do you credit the most to make you the woman you are today?
Ooh, that's a good question. I want to say my family, 100%. I grew up in a matriarchal household. Great grandma, whatever she said was done. And she led well. And I was fortunate to be around like strong women in my family who were outspoken in their own quiet ways.
Interesting.
They were very observant.
Yes.
And curated the way they talked. So I was like, I'm going to do that because that causes the least reactions, you know? Or sometimes it gets a good reaction. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But these women, it's like they put themselves first in their own unique ways. And then my mom as well. Like, she was also like one to always put herself first while still helping others. But yeah, like they've taught me, like, you keep doing you. Like, you have to find a way to do what you like. And then again, it gets like you're your own greatest supporter, right? So like, if you want something, how are you gonna make it happen? And how are you gonna, like, do you want people to like you all the time? Because that could be draining.
Yeah.
You know, so treat others how you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
That's also been one thing that's always been told to me.
Mm-hmm.
Another one would be my dad with the resourcefulness, working with what you have, being self-sufficient, but still finding that way to ask for help and problem solving. And then outside of family, I guess would be like, there's just like a handful of teachers who'd be like, oh, you're pretty cool and weird. Keep being you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think in college also, like, Gina was another reminder of like, be yourself, keep doing you, find a way to be you. And if people don't understand or respect it, that's okay, but just keep persevering.
Right.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has been that. And the patience I have for certain things, a lot of it's credit to just my grandma and living with her. Like, elderly and children will teach you so much patience. Whether you develop the patience, that's a different story. But like, it reminds you to be patient with others and yourself. But yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with family. Yeah.
No, you mentioned something. You mentioned two things that were interconnected and beautiful. So some of us, and I do include myself, I did fall into this trap. If you are a people pleaser,
yes,
you are essentially setting yourself on fire to keep others warm. But then towards the end of your answer, you said the more yourself that you embrace, by extension, you attract like-minded people. So it goes back beautifully to your fortune.
Yeah, it does. I remember my mom, like, now I think about it, I grew up with a lot of people pleasers who I think eventually this like learned like, oh no, I should slow down and be more intentional with how I people please.
Right.
And so I myself am becoming like that slowly but surely, you know, because I always want to help everyone. I try to see the good in people, you know, and like I observed like how others engage with those around us, and I'm like, okay, if this is it worth my energy?
Yes.
Engaging with these people,
right,
or this group of organizations and whatnot.
Correct.
You know, am I gonna get the respect at the end of the day just simply as a human being and for my knowledge? I don't know. You know, it's not so much like I don't want to come across as like an opportunist, like in the terms of like I benefit from it, whether it's monetarily or like by a job. But I would like to see opportunities as a way to like keep building a stronger community, you know, and balance the people pleaser in me. But yeah.
Yes, because remember, at the end of the day, you are your own best supporter.
Yeah.
I really like how you keep those fortunes. They, wow. And in conjunction, both of those should be in everyone's wallet.
Yeah.
All right, Ceci. Final question. And I've been asking this to every guest that's been on.
Cool.
They've all given fascinating answers.
Okay.
Imagine, Ceci, there is a giant stadium with 200,000 seats, which just so happens to be the population of Brownsville. Each seat is occupied by each and every member of the community. And there you are, stepping down the 50-yard line in the middle with a microphone to say something, a message to the entire population of Brownsville.
Damn.
What would that message be, Ceci?
Oh my God. I feel like I'm in Toastmasters.
It's like a table topic. You're right.
Yeah. No, it's good. This is like the very rough draft of it instinctively, but it'd be like a big thank you to our community for being the way they are and persevering, because like I see everyone in different forms, whether it's in person or social media, and we're all sharing this pridefulness for where we live, what we do. And I just want to remind people to keep doing that, and that you are seen and heard, and it helps motivate others to continue what they're doing. But yeah, that's how I would say it.
And the crowd roars.
But yeah, that's what comes into mind.
Wonderful. Ceci, what an incredible conversation. Thank you for being the first artist during my tenure here on the show.
Congrats on this opportunity for you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And thank you also for shedding some light into the creative and artistic scene that we have here in Brownsville, while also going on the pleasant surprise to talk about human nature, human psyches, human psychology, and the things we could do to add value to ourselves by being our number one supporter and by finding a good team to take us far. Cecilia Sierra, thank you for joining us today on Brownsville Matters.
Thank you.
This is Michael Quantz with the Brownsville Society for the Performing Arts, here to tell you about our podcast, Brownsville Matters. Everyone in Brownsville has a story to tell, and these are the stories. We broadcast these stories every Friday at 5 p.m. and every Sunday at 3 p.m. on KXIQ 105.1 FM on your radio dial. You can also catch these stories rebroadcast on our YouTube channel for Brownsville Society for the Performing Arts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and smash the notifications if you want more information about these stories that you watch and listen to.